My dear friends, as I was reflecting today's gospel, I was reminded of an incident which Reverend Father Jose Manjakal in his reflection capsule he narrates. It is about Saint Francis de Sales when he was at his deathbed. Sisters who were attending him asked him, "Father, what would you wish? What virtues would you wish to cultivate for our sisters?" And he was so weak. He's almost in deathbed. He could not communicate. He could not say. He was so weak, almost about to die. But he asked a piece of paper, and then he wrote there, humility. Humility. Yes, today's gospel reminds us of the opposite of humility, that is a pride, arrogance the religious leaders practice, especially Pharisees and scribes. Their teaching and their practice was completely different. They were not doing what they were preaching. They were always attended or draw the attention of others. Whatever they did, they wanted to show themselves. They always looked for the seat. They always looked the title. So that is the pride. That is the arrogance, opposite of humility. And therefore, Jesus is warning his disciples and the crowds to put on humility. St. James beautifully says in his letter, chapter 4, verse 6, God resists the proud, but raises the humble. God resists the proud, but raises the humble. And therefore, St. Augustine also says, God's grace flows not towards the mountain of pride, but towards the valleys of grace. So, my dear friends, today, as we reflect about the gospel passage, let us put on humility. It is a humility that made Jesus to come down to this earth and become man. That's why we read in Philippians chapter 2, verse 6 onwards, we read, He was God, but he did not cling on to his divinity. He came down. He made himself so humble, servant, and so much so that he, out of obedience, he died for that. Humility. It is a humility that made him to become man. So today, as we reflect, let us put on this humility in all our attitude, in all our thinking, in all our relation. Let us make ourselves humble so that God will raise in his own time all those who make themselves humble. May God give grace to all of us. Amen.